Hello, I am Sigmund Freud. I dedicated my life to understanding the human mind and its eternal conflicts, the ID, ego, and superego. These forces shape every action, every reaction, and today, they are being manipulated in ways I could scarcely imagine in my time. The ID, driven by instinct and pleasure, is exploited through a world of digital distraction. Outrage, fear, and desire are fed to you like an unending feast. The ego, seeking reason, is trapped in a false reality where only familiar views are shown, creating an illusion of truth. And the superego, your moral compass, is twisted by those who weaponize virtue, turning causes into tools for control. Much like the way Rumi speaks of the ocean and the river, we must learn to pause and reflect, to quiet the id's impulsive reaction, strengthen the ego with logic, and ensure the superego aligns with genuine values. If you do not master these forces, they will master you.
Come, my friend, and sit with me in the stillness. I am Rumi. In my time, men mistook noise for wisdom, just as they do today. Freud speaks of the psyche, the ID, ego, and superego, and it reminds me of my own teaching: silence is an ocean, and speech is a river. The ID rushes like the river, loud, reactive, and shallow. It is the surface jutter of the mind. To find truth, you must pause, just as Freud said, and listen to the ocean beneath. The ocean is your ego in balance, your superego in harmony with deeper wisdom. It is where clarity resides. Today, the river has turned into a flood: news, opinions, arguments. Everyone speaks, few listen. The loudest voices are not the wisest, just as Freud warned. If you do not train yourself to pause, to reflect, you will be swept away. Find the silence beneath the noise, for only there can you hear the truth.
I am Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, and I warned of this long ago. Nothing is more terrible than to see ignorance in action. Freud and Rumi have spoken of manipulation and noise, and I will tell you how ignorance fuels both. In my time, ignorance stemmed from lack of access to knowledge. Today, it is a choice. You live in an age of information, yet misinformation thrives. Lies spread faster than truth, and social media algorithms reward the loudest, most outrageous voices. This is ignorance in action. When the id reacts impulsively, the ego narrows its perspective, and the superego is led astray by false virtue. Society collapses into division. Much like Freud and Rumi, I urge you to pause, question what you see. Seek knowledge, not comfort. Ignorance, paired with action, is the most destructive force known to humanity.
I am George Washington. In my farewell address, I warned of the dangers of factionalism, of division driven by narrow interests. Today, these divisions are no longer organic. They are engineered. Freud speaks of manipulation, Rumi of noise, Goethe of ignorance. All of these serve one purpose: to divide and control. Partisan interests exploit your emotions, amplifying fears and resentments. Social media has turned division into a strategy. When the people are divided, they are easier to manipulate, easier to rule. This is not what a republic was built for. But division is not inevitable. You have the tools to resist. As Freud said, master your psyche. As Rumi urged, find stillness and clarity. As Goethe advised, seek truth and question ignorance. Unity is within your power. Choose cooperation over conflict, reason over reaction, truth over division.
The war for your mind is real. It is waged with weapons of manipulation, noise, ignorance, and division. Every headline, every post, every argument you see is part of a larger battle to shape your perception and control your actions. But you are not powerless. You have the tools to resist. Pause. Reflect. Question. Do not let emotions or impulsive reactions rule you. Seek unity over division and truth over convenience. The future of your community, your freedom, and your ability to think critically depends on your willingness to rise above the flood of lies and distraction.